We're talking to Maria Lane, who is running for Ashtabula Municipal Court Judge during the upcoming election, November 3rd. And Maria, I had a chance to interview you quite a bit this afternoon, but there's some other things I got to ask you, okay?
Absolutely.
Called community involvement. And I understand that you play a role as the president of the Ashtabula County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board. And can you explain that?
Absolutely. I actually joined the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board back in 2009. They did have some vacancies for board members, and I felt because of my involvement with drug court that would be a great opportunity for me to get to better know the service agencies that we have here in Ashtabula County. Because one of problems that we discover in our drug court program, that once we get somebody sober and get them off the drugs, we find that really there is an underlying mental health issue, that they've really been self-medicating. So then we have to, in turn, address that issue. And we do have amazing providers of services in this community, which I've been able to get to know all of these community stakeholders and work very well with them. And fortunately, last November, our board did pass a replacement levy. So starting next year, we're going to have even more dollars that are going to be right here in Ashtabula County for treatment services for our citizens.
Very good. I see you also play a role on the Kent State Ashtabula Advisory Committee.
I do. This is a committee that I became involved with actually in January of this year, and it's very exciting. It's the advisory committee to Kent State Ashtabula, and I love having a voice in guiding Kent State Ashtabula, because I think it is an absolute gem for our community.
Very good. I also noticed that you're the only female trustee at the local Elks Club here.
I am. I have been an Elks member since for the last 11 years at Elks Lodge 208 here in Ashtabula. And again, there was an opening for a trustee's position, and I just felt that, I come to this club, I enjoy this club, I love the community service that this club provides, and I would like to have a say in the goals and the activities and the operation of the club. So I have been a trustee for the past 4 years.
Wow. I've been a member of the Elks for a long, long time too, so it's a good organization.
It does great things. One of the greatest things that the Elks does it every year on Veterans Day. It has a free dinner for all the veterans in the county, and we serve over 400 dinners, sometimes 750 dinners. It's just an amazing day.
That's a fantastic thing. You're also a member of the Women's Auxiliary of the American Legion.
I have been a ladies auxiliary for the last 14 years.
Really?
And again, an amazing organization that really services the veterans of our community. Mm-hmm. Every goal is towards veterans and to supporting our current service people, and I'm very proud to be a part of that organization.
Excellent. Now, one of the other questions I wanted to ask you, and you might have already answered this for me a while back, but you do reside in Ashtabula County.
I do. I live in Saybrook Township. I have lived in Saybrook Township for the last 17 years. I love the area. And
Okay,
yes.
Very good. What about family?
I grew up in Cuyahoga Falls.
Mm-hmm.
My parents still live in Cuyahoga Falls.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and his wife and my nieces, they live in Mentor. And my sister and her husband and my two nephews, they live in West Virginia.
Okay. Mom and Dad are retired?
They are both retired. My mom is a retired elementary school teacher, and my dad is a retired chemist.
Okay.
So they were always focused on education, was a key in our family. And through my mom being a second grade teacher, she was always advocating early intervention.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another important factor, how I envision that Ashtabula Municipal Drug Court, because that court is when offenders are first coming into the system, and that's the perfect time to provide them that early intervention so we can get them out of the system so they don't keep spiraling and becoming our felling offenders.
You mentioned second grade, and I look back many, many years ago when I was in second grade, and that was kind of the turning point as an elementary student, because that's when the reading and all that stuff really, really kicks in. And I remember those days like it was just yesterday. It was like amazing time for me. Mrs. Reeds was my teacher at the time. So good for your mom, and I think she's right about the intervention thing. Well, we got time for a brief summary of what we talked about today, if you'd like to take over at that.
Well, absolutely. Again, I've been doing criminal law for the last 22 years. I really understand court procedures, criminal law, and most importantly, criminal behavior. For the last 17 years, I've been the director of our county's public defender's office. So I have been managing a taxpayer-funded budget and operations for 17 years. I know how to handle a budget. I've been operating an office efficiently for the last 17 years. And that's important in this municipal court race because the judge of that court has a very large budget, fully taxpayer funded, and needs to be efficient in the operations of that court. I am excited about starting a specialized docket program because that's going to provide accountability to offenders and provide that early intervention. I didn't mention it earlier, but part of our drug court program here in our common police court is that we have an 85% success rate, which means
that's high.
It is high. It's not perfect. It's not 100%, but that means that 85% of the people who graduated from our program have not reoffended, and that is important. So if we can get to them earlier in that drug court, my drug court program, we're going to have better impacts. And through changing the scheduling system, we can address needs earlier and be more efficient, because ultimately my goals for that court are efficiency and accountability.
It's been a real pleasure talking to you, Marie, and learned a lot from you today. And I certainly wish you well come November 3rd.
Thank you very much.
I hope to be at your celebration party that night.
Thank you.
All right. Marie Lane, thank you very much for watching.